The first case for 2025 on NCIS, Origins, which has just returned from winter break, has validated my worst suspicions regarding Mark Harmon's Leroy Jethro Gibbs Prequel. I, like most fans of the long-running CBS flagship series, thought Gibbs was the best during the character's tenure. To be honest, I still miss the original poster character from NCIS, even after Harmon left in Season 19, and Gary Cole has done a fantastic job as the new MCRT leader, Alden Parker. That should have been resolved by NCIS Origins, but it hasn't. Although the NCIS franchise has been producing spinoffs for over 10 years, Harmon's most recent project is the first, NCIS. Origins tackles Gibbs' early years in NIS as a member of Mike Frank's motley crew in Camp Pendleton, extending the universe by reflecting on its past. Although I was skeptical that the show would be forced to recast the role, the premise seemed promising. Although Austin Stowell performs admirably, Harmon will always be associated with the part. However, this problem is exacerbated by a different casting decision in the show, with most of its storyline centered around Gibbs, NCIS. Origins has so far made it apparent that it is a show. After the winter break, NCIS. Origins Episode 11 confirmed my suspicion that Kyle Schmidt, playing young Frank, would steal the show. The excursion, titled Flight of Icarus, combines flashbacks about there and his origins with the NIS leader's struggles with his tattered boots. Despite the fact that Gibbs is hardly in it, Flight of Icarus is one of NCIS Origins' best shows ever. It has always been simpler to convince viewers that Schmidt's Franks eventually turns into Muse Watson's version in NCIS, even though the episode is purposefully centered around him. He was instantly noticeable when I first covered the character's first NCIS Origins set photo. This was not only because he resembled his original counterpart so much, but also because he embodied Frank's personality in general. This has been evident throughout the prequel's run so far, but it really comes to life in NCIS Origins Episode 11. This does not imply that Stowell is not performing admirably in the role of young Gibbs. Instead, I think it's great that he was able to capture some of Harmon's expressions. However, it takes me some time to believe that this version of Gibbs and the one we are accustomed to in the mothership are the same. In the meantime, I can practically see Watson's Franks when I look at Schmidt. However, neither Stowell nor the show's writing are to blame for this. Rather, it's merely a pre-existing issue that CBS must deal with as it addresses Gibbs' past. The major events in Gibbs' life have already been covered by NCIS, so it seems like NCIS Origins isn't really adding anything new. I'm afraid the prequel can't rely on that hook in the long run, even though I like that it can elaborate on the tragedy. Conversely, Frank's exposure in NCIS was less than that of his probie. Because he was mysterious even in death, the spin-off has new storylines that add to the overall lore of the universe. For background, the first time we truly see Frank's past is in NCIS Origins Episode 11, and it left me wanting more. NCIS Origins Episode 11 is actually the second outing in the show that explores a character besides Gibbs. We saw more of Randy Randolph's personal life earlier in the year as he balanced the demands of his career with being a new father. However, by disclosing his covert involvement in Kelly and Shannon's murder, CBS was able to relate his episode to the Gibbs family tragedy. Frank's outing, on the other hand, is purely about him. Moving forward, I am interested in seeing more of that side of him that NCIS never tackled, whether that going back to his past and revealing more details about his life before joining the agency or his relationship with Tish. There is so much to explore about him. Since NCIS Origins doesn't technically have a titular character, perhaps Gibbs and his mentor can share that title, and in the future, Harmon can reunite with Muse Watson in one of their characters' supernatural-like conversations.